I cannot believe I'm putting this online. That is perfect. Okay, well, we make another one then. All right, let's do a haul. Hello, welcome back to A Day in the Life. It was supposed to be the morning of Valentine's Day when I started this video, but then I got into a groove with filming and I filmed everything pretty much for the next week. So I was productive, and now I need to do all the other things that I wanted to do this weekend in order to make it the perfect Valentine's Day weekend for myself. Starting with cleaning my room. It is actually, hold on, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, it's insane. Mostly because of filming, but also because I don't know where to put all the books that I own anymore, and that is a separate problem that I'm not gonna be able to solve today. But I do want to clean my entire room so that tonight when I want to relax, I'll be nice and chill. Does anyone else have to put a headband on when they clean? Because I cannot deal with my hair falling in front of my face. All right, with that, let's clean. All right, I think we are done with the cleaning. Also, I have 2 copies of the same book, which is, I mean, I'm very blessed, but what do I do with this? I should do a giveaway, actually. I haven't even read it yet, but this is the best it's gonna get. I just have things that don't have a place in my room, and until I get my own place, I think it's just gonna be like that forever. But I feel like that looks pretty good. I am starving, so let's go make some lunch. Lunch and dinner is honestly gonna be very boring today. Lunch is actually gonna be my last Factor meal. Obviously not sponsored. I do not have enough followers to be sponsored by Factor. I have been basically doing 2 jobs with content in my actual job, so I've just not prioritized cooking. So I do Factor meals to make my days easier. So we're gonna eat the last one for lunch today, and then I do have leftover Indian food that I'm gonna eat for dinner. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do a Trader Joe's run, which I'll take you along with me, and then we'll try to actually cook some food this week. This is brown butter grilled chicken and Yukon mash with green beans and mushrooms, which will be delicious, honestly. I love mashed potatoes. I don't know if this is a hot take, but mashed potatoes is my favorite form of potato. She's hot. Also, I think I'm about to start before I forget. So I have been on the hunt for my first 5-star read of the year. I did actually achieve that, but I feel like it would be more fun to get 2 5-star reads in a row. And I think this one has a high likelihood because it is a lit fic about a, I think, dying father, and there's magical realism involved, and it's under 300 pages. It's like a recipe for a perfect book for a D. I'm gonna start it now while I eat and then check back in with you guys later. See, that looks pretty good. Also, hot tip, put it in a bowl and then it doesn't feel like you're eating airplane food. It's actually pretty good. Time to make my midday cup of coffee, which if you follow me on TikTok, you know that I make a midday mug. It's a weekly video series, and we're just gonna do the same thing here, except slightly different in that we're only gonna talk about the book I'm currently reading. Although I am reading another book. I thought that it was down here, but it's not. I'm also reading Last Twilight in Paris, but I'm only a couple chapters in and I don't really have much to report on that one. This one I'm also only a few chapters in. I'm only 30 pages in. I wanted to read more, but I was getting distracted. So far, interesting premise. So it's about a woman whose father's Alzheimer's diagnosis is getting worse and worse, and her sister has been at home taking care of him, and she got a new job. Our main character, her nickname is Cricket. She agrees to come home to help tour facilities for her father, but I think she's gonna end up getting convinced to actually stay home and be his caretaker for a while. And she hasn't been to her hometown in 9 years because of some sort of tragedy that's happened. That's, I think, basically the intro to this book, which I feel like is good to know going into it, especially the father with Alzheimer's, because I think that that can be triggering for a lot of people. I don't have a history of Alzheimer's in my family. I did have a grandma that had signs of dementia, also a grandpa on my mom's side, and some like great aunts and uncles. So I have like a little bit of history of it, but I was never around it for long periods of time. This does seem pretty accurate in terms of, you know, what it's like to live with somebody with memory loss. So I do think it's going to be a sad book. I asked followers about this book and a lot of people did say that they really love it. So I do have really high hopes for it. So for coffee today, we're making a cinnamon bun latte or cinnamon roll latte, I guess. So the main part of this that is the most complicated is the cold foam. We're going to make a cream cheese cold foam. I'm going to do it first. I'm actually going to make 2 coffees, so we're going to double it. So the ratio I did was 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. So we're going to do 4 tablespoons. 3-to-1 ratio, heavy cream, cream cheese, vanilla syrup. So because I did 4, I do 1 full vanilla syrup tablespoon. I'm going to do like a little extra, 2 tablespoons of whipped cream cheese. We are gonna go a little heavy-handed here. The only thing I'm gonna do is add a little bit of regular almond milk just to loosen it up a little because I felt like it was a little bit thick. And then we froth it. And I don't really want it to double in size. I just want it to be consistent thickness, really. Okay, let's try her. Yeah. Good. Okay, and then we're gonna brew the coffee on top of brown sugar, a little bit of vanilla syrup, and cinnamon. Pretty generous amount. I would say probably a tablespoon, so like that amount. I'm gonna do 2, probably like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And now we just have to make the espresso. My favorite thing about espresso machines is that one shot might come out perfectly and the other one probably won't. So it goes. I just broke. That is perfect. Okay, well, we make another one then. Great. Okay, we've got the 2 shots. Yeah, that's pretty good, at least. This is honestly maybe one of the best coffees I've ever made. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. All right, back to reading. The goal is to get to 100 pages. I will check in with you then. Emily says hi vlog. So Emily, if you're watching, just have it be known I said hi to the vlog for you. Okay, I am on page 120 of the book, which we'll talk about in a sec. I need to make dinner. It is 8 p.m. We are a little behind. We've got a garlic naan, which I'm going to put in the air fryer. Rice, obviously. That feels like the perfect amount, actually. And then chicken tikka masala. Yum. Now let's go talk about the book and eat my food. We are currently watching Love Island as background. Perfect background TV show. Here's the thing. I feel like I can't say much without spoiling anything, although at this point, there's not really much to spoil. So I'm a little bit more than halfway through the book. I am enjoying it. The only reason I'm reading it so fast is because I want to. I wouldn't say it's like an unputdownable book, but the vibes are very sweet and wholesome. The main female character's father is adorable, and the magical realism aspect has seemingly come to fruition, though I think things are still a little bit murky. I am expecting that I will probably cry by the end of this. I am extremely sensitive to sad scenes relating to fathers and daughters for some reason. I love my dad so much, so maybe that's why. The vibes are very nostalgic. There's a dual timeline. The other timeline is when she is either 16 or 17 in 2015. I was 18 in 2015. It's making me feel very similar and reminding me what things were like when I was the tail end of high school. I'm really enjoying that part of it, and I like that I can connect to that part of it. I feel like not everyone will feel that way, but it's definitely an added bonus. I'm gonna try to finish this tonight, but I do also have to edit a couple videos for tomorrow. So I'm going to eat my food while I watch Love Island. Then, what time is it? 8:09. I'll probably read until maybe 9:30. And then I will shower and do some skincare and then edit from bed. Anyways, those are my thoughts. I don't know that that will be a 5-star read quite yet. It's giving 4-star energy as of right now. Also, my delicious food. I'm so excited to eat this, honestly. Okay, first off, I have about 100 pages left in the book. I did almost cry. We learn more about what happens in the main female character's past, which was honestly kind of devastating. Things are getting a little bit messy in a fun way, but also somewhat in a stressful way. So I think I'm going to change my plans and I am going to finish the rest of the book and then I will edit. I'm going to take my makeup off, cleanse my face, put a face mask on, and then read the rest of the book. So I use the Pharmacy Green Clean for the first cleanse. Cleanse number 2 is using this new facial cleanser that I've got. It was actually gifted to me. It is a cream to foam cleanser. Now that the face is almost clean, I go in with a toner. I go in with the Caudalie Vino Perfect toner. This is a sample size that I just have, and unfortunately I think I'm going to need to buy the full size. This is how I make sure that literally all the makeup gets off my face. Now that the face is clean, we can put a mask on, and I'll do the rest of my skincare after that. I'm about to look supremely terrifying. Just a warning. Do I look like a murderer? I cannot believe I'm putting this online. Let's go finish reading. I literally look insane. I didn't really think through reading a sad book while wearing a face mask that is going to become glued to my face. I literally have 20 pages left. So I feel like we know what's gonna happen and I'm gonna be so sad. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this now. I'm literally crying. This is insane. This is an insane choice. Oh, I really wanted one thing to happen and it didn't. And it makes it less cheesy, which is good, but I just really wanted it. Oh, I'm gonna cry again. Oh, is it 5 stars? I literally can't stop crying. Wow. Guys, I need to do something about this and then we can talk about the book. We are back. I've cooled down from the emotions of the end of that book. Holy moly. Woo. Look, you can see where my face soaked up all of that supposedly collagen. I forget if I showed you. This is the mask. Now that I've calmed down from my crying, I've decided to give it a 4.5, a generous 4.5. I really enjoyed it, but I needed a little bit more emotion. I don't know why I took that off. I need to do the rest of my skincare. The Caudalie Firming Serum. Caudalie is my favorite skincare brand. Oh my god, my skin feels so smooth. The Belief eye cream. So I really enjoyed it, but I feel like I needed just a little bit more. And I don't know if that I needed it to be longer, now that I'm thinking about it. I just needed I think a little bit more closure and honestly maybe more flashbacks. I don't know, but I really liked it. I think other than knowing that it's a coming of age story, a woman goes home to take care of her father who is diagnosed with Alzheimer's, so she becomes his primary caregiver. Those are two very important things to know because I think those would be very, very big trigger warnings because it is the entire plot for the most part. Other than knowing that and that there's some magical realism-ish elements to it, not anything crazy, just a little bit. Other than that, go into it blind. If you really like literary fiction, overall, I think it's a really good book. And if you went to high school around the 2010s time frame, I think there's like an added nostalgia to it because I was able to resonate with it. My moisturizer is, you guessed it, Caudalie. It's actually the same line as the serum that I use. I've started to use a neck cream because your girl is in her 30s. Another creator on Instagram posted this on their story. So I've just recently bought it. So I don't really have anything to say about it yet, but maybe it works. Who knows? I'm not used to the movement of how you put neck cream on. Oh wait, I don't know why I did that because I need to take a body shower. I'm gonna take a quick body shower. Quick. And then it's time to get into bed and now edit. So I'll see you when I'm back in my bed. All right, it is midnight. My eyes are barely open. I think it's time to call it a night. We'll see you guys in the morning. All right, let's do a haul. I will just say I had planned to film as much as I could in there. There were so many people for 9:30 a.m. I guess everyone was trying to, you know, start the day early. Wow, I need a coffee. We'll make one after this. I love buying myself flowers. I think that women should always buy themselves flowers, but especially for Valentine's Day weekend, and tulips are my favorite flower in case anyone's ever wondering. Things got a little out of hand. There were a lot of chips and popcorn flavors that I couldn't choose between. So I bought the cacio e pepe puffs. They're so good. I also got the buffalo, what is this? Buffalo ranch popcorn. How could I say no? And also the hot honey popcorn, because again, how could I say no? This one is kind of like hard kettle corn, like caramel popcorn, but with hot honey, so it has a kick. I don't usually let myself buy this many salty snacks because I will eat the whole bag. Sweets I can keep in check. I also bought the ketchup. Lattice potato chips. I love ketchup flavored chips. They are hard to come by in the US. I thought that was it. You were wrong. I bought the salt and pepper potato chips because I've been seeing, I forget the main woman that's been doing this, I think for a while, but everyone's been doing the Zoog sauce, which I've never tried, and the garlic spread together, dip potato chips in it. So maybe I'll try it as a snack later, but I've been wanting to try it. I love a dip in a chip. I mean, who doesn't? We're low on sugar. I love the, what are they called? The protein pancakes by Kodiak. And they had protein muffins at Trader Joe's, so I bought some of those, bought 3. My favorite Bear Bells flavor, the creamy crisp. If you have ever tried any Bear Bells, I stand by this being the best flavor because they are thinner and they have like crispy rice in them, which I love. So there's another new type of cookie at Trader Joe's and I was staring at it and one of the workers came over and was like, they're pretty good. And then he was explaining to me how they were like the Dunkaroos cookies, but without the frosting. And then he was like, if you like chocolate though, you should get these ones. And so I said, say less. So I bought these dark chocolate biscuit cookies. They're mini. Wait, I feel like I should try one. Oh my God, they're so cute. That's pretty good. Not great. One bag down. Baby broccoli. I got 2 bagged salads that I've never tried before. BBQ and black pepper Toscano chopped salad sounds incredible. Cabbage, carrots, kale, cornbread croutons, and black pepper Toscano cheese and its barbecue sweet onion dressing. I feel like this will be delish. And then the pizza ranch salad kit. I've been eyeing this from afar for a long time. I'm not gonna lie, this salad looks a little bit sad. The largest green grapes I have ever seen in my life. This is actually insane. It is bigger than my eye. Green grapes over red grapes, always. I found this in the freezer section. Butternut squash Italian lasagna. I love lasagna. I love their Italian frozen meals, and I love butternut squash, and it actually doesn't look too unhealthy. The entire thing is only 630 calories because, let's be real, I will probably eat the entire container. I've been seeing these everywhere. Cheddar cheese snackers. I bought 2 bags. Should I have bought these? Probably not. And then the last thing I bought that I've been seeing everywhere, buffalo style chicken meatballs. I don't know what I'm gonna eat this with. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Maybe I'll make some wraps with the salad. Maybe I'll just put them on the salad. But I am excited about these. That's the aftermath. And yes, you're on a stack of books. I'm gonna put everything away and then make a coffee. Why not take a little immunity shot? I hate it. Now that we've had a sip of coffee, I can actually do things today. So it is Sunday. I'm actually supposed to go to my mother's house in 2.5 hours. We are doing our family Dungeons and Dragons game that we play probably bi-monthly. I'm not really a Dungeons and Dragons. I don't mind it. I like it for about an hour, and then once the second hour of playing hits, I get bored, but it's a nice little family bonding experience. So I'm supposed to go there, but I also still need to edit because I didn't do that last night. I need to edit a video to post on TikTok tonight, my midday mug. I also would really love to get some more reading in. So I'm about 2 chapters into the last Twilight in Paris. This is a historical fiction, dual timeline. One timeline is during World War II and the other timeline is pretty much directly after in the 1950s. The World War II timeline is definitely in Paris, but I'm not sure that the current timeline is in Paris. I think it's in England. I don't really have any, yeah, I'm literally on chapter 2. I read the prologue in chapter 1. So I'd like to try to get maybe to page 50 or maybe even 100 before I leave. I'll bring you with me. I'll maybe try to get a few clips in while I'm there. And then after that, it's about an hour drive. So a few hours there, an hour drive back home. I do have tomorrow off, which is nice, but I do need to get like a normal night of sleep. But I'm sure I will come back and want to read. I'm gonna settle in and drink my coffee, do some editing, do some reading, and you guessed it, we are going to put on Love Island because I am addicted and I am so behind and I need to catch up. If you are a Love Island watcher, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. I actually kind of like this cast. I think that there's enough drama going on, but the men are all kind of meh, and I feel like the women are just far superior. Although I feel like I always feel like that with this show. I can't explain to you guys how happy I am to be in my bed at home. I am so tired. It's 10:20. It's not even that late. I just have not been sleeping well, and long drive, and I didn't even get that far into the book even with the drive. I'm on page 73, which is chapter 5, so the chapters are longer, and honestly not much has happened in this book. I can't lie. I guess in the past timeline it has. The main female character in the past timeline has just kind of like defied her parents and married a man that is definitely way too old for her. So that's interesting. But I do have to remember that this is the 1930s, so who knows? People let things fly way easier back then. I'm gonna try to get to page 100 and then I'll report back, and then I'm going to switch gears because I don't really want to read a depressing World War II historical fiction novel too late into the night. So after that, I'm going to start the next book in the Sparrow Falls series by Cowles, which I think is called Broken Harbor. Let me check. Broken Harbor, yes. For those of you that don't know, this is a romantic suspense series. Over the years, I think I have become much more critical with romance. I don't love cheese. I don't even really like cheese. The first book in this series, I actually did enjoy. The twist was incredible. I didn't guess it. I just read the second book. It's been 6 months since I read the first one, but I had pulled it in my book series roulette, and that one I didn't like as much. It was definitely cheesier, way more insta-lovey, but again, didn't guess the twist. This one, third book, is also sports romance, which for some would be exciting. For me, I don't really jive with sports romances, so I'm a little nervous that I'm not gonna like this one. It's also single mom. He's a hockey player. I'd rather it be a baseball player, honestly. We will see. I'm gonna go in with an open mind, but I have to read it because I picked it yet again for my book series roulette, which this is exactly the purpose of this game, because I only read one book and then I was like, okay, I'm done, moving on to the next. And the machine was like, psych, you need to keep reading this series. You need to check it off your list, because I don't hate the books. I don't know. Anyways, I'm rambling for fun. I'm gonna get back to reading for a little bit. Check in with you as soon as I hit the 100-page mark in Last Twilight in Paris. Okay, perfect time to pause because the World War II timeline is now becoming World War II. I don't know if this book is easily predictable or if I just think it is and the author will surprise me. They've kind of laid out hints for what the mystery element is from the present timeline, and it feels like it's very obvious, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm gonna put this away now and start Broken Harbor. Also, this is a very cute Kindle case. It's from Berga. Everything that you've seen in this video, I will have linked in my Shopify if that is of any interest, which I will put in the description. With that, we have sadly come to the end of the vlog. I hope you enjoyed this weekend in my life. A little bit of a weird weekend. Also, a pretty average, uneventful weekend. If you stayed this long, thanks for hanging out. Let me know what you think of the vlog, and I'll see you next time.